Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to dig into the SVG files. In the past I did not like using them because the alignment was so far off, but I have that all figured out and they're pretty helpful once you learn what to do for the setup, especially if you have a lot of text in your logo. You guys have probably seen all the stuff I've been making. What you see on the screen is what we're going to make. With that said, we'll get started. On Edit page, go up in the Media pool, right click, New Fusion Composition. You can give it a name if you'd like, but you don't have to. And go ahead and leave it on 5 seconds. I am on a 30 frame per second frame rate. Bring it down to your timeline and go to Fusion. I made this template up. It's very generic to keep it as short as possible for the tutorial. To get your SVG file, you have to do it in Fusion here. Go to the very top up to Fusion. Go down to Import. Then SVG. Then select your SVG file. Double click on it. We'll bring it in. I never change the size. I think the computer knows the size better than I do. I just hit OK. Now, the more complex of a logo you have, the more work you have to do. You'll see when I open up the node. Okay, now we'll open this node up. Right click. Ungroup. Now I want to find out what each one of these do. You'll see they're basically a path. We'll put it in the left viewer. Like I say, the more complex it is, you'll want to start naming these nodes so you know what you're looking for. If you have like 2 words or 3 words, I try to line each word up to the left here with all the nodes in each line per word. That way you can group them as you go, or else you'll end up with 50 nodes or 100 nodes and way down at the bottom. So I found it to be easy as I pull these apart to group the words together and then pipe them into your composition as you go, and then group them and then name the group. I will try to show in a few minutes here what I did in another one, so it'll be cutting into that and then back to this tutorial. I basically turned all these nodes right here just by grouping them into this. Into this right here. It's pretty much the same amount of nodes. Just have them all grouped. One name here, and one here. So it makes it a little easier to work with if you do it that way. This one here is pretty simple, so we won't bother naming any of these. You can see when you click on each one, it shows what it is up in the viewer. 1. We're to start with these two. I like to start with the center and the outer perimeter. And something as basic as this, it doesn't matter how you put them in. And highlight them all and make sure we have all of them. We can delete those and get them out of the way. Click away over here. I would like to mention too that I use a handicap controller, and you might hear a little bit of noise with me sipping and puffing on it. Also, I have to use this on-screen keyboard. Shift spacebar and type in S polygon. And while that's still selected, make my nose a little bit bigger for you guys so you can see them. Shift spacebar again. And extrude. And then we'll go right up to the toolbar. Select the merge, camera, and render. Let's go ahead and pipe our render into the media out. Okay, now we have to convert these nodes into a S polygon node. So select it, you'll see it in viewer 1. Highlight it. Pick a point and right click. Go all the way down to the bottom. Then up here to copy. Then you have to select the S polygon node. Then go to viewer 2. Right click. All the way down to here. And paste. Okay, now we'll do this one. Move that one up there. Click away. Shift spacebar and S polygon again. Now we're going to copy this one. Again, select a point and right click. Copy it and then select the S polygon node again. Go to viewer 2. Right click. And paste. Now with this node selected, we're going to add an S Boolean node to it. So shift spacebar. And type in S Boolean. Disconnect that one for now. I actually meant to start with this one, but it doesn't really matter. What matters is how you connect them. You see our triangle up here. Camera and everything is off center. I finally have an easy fix for that. But we don't have our outer perimeter, so we're going to select the S Boolean. Go to the inspector under operation and select subtract. Now you'll see we have our logo in viewer 1. Now we'll select the camera. In the inspector, under transform, select use target. Under translation, Z-axis, we'll move the camera back. You see it's way off center here. I want to take note of these values. We're going to put this in all these and it will line it right up without any guesswork. So we'll go ahead and do the camera first while we're here. Under target, put 0.5 and the X value. And under target, Y-axis, 0.25. And under the Z-axis, put in 0.038. Now, as you've seen up in the viewer 1, everything, the target is moving up, but it's distorted. We'll get to that in a moment. Back in the inspector under pivot, we'll put them same values as the target. Okay, now to make this uniform, just upstream from the extrude node, select your Boolean, shift spacebar, and we want S transform. And with that selected, in the inspector under the Y size, we want 0.55. And there we have it. Now it is a circle, and the pivot points so far are right in the center. Now we have 2 more nodes to do that in. We'll set up the extrude node next. When you select it, you'll see the pivot point is way off. So in the inspector under transform, we only have the pivot to do here. So once again, X value will be 0.5, Y value 0.25, and Z value 0.038. I'm going to close that so we don't make a mistake and move it. Also, the camera. Let's go back to the camera node under translation. Y value, change to 0.3. That raises the camera up so you're looking directly straight into the logo we're making. Now if you look in viewer 1, you'll see the camera's off center. We want to bring that over and line it up. Like that. Okay, now we're going to add a transform to it to use to animate this, to rotate it. So select your extrude node, shift spacebar, and transform 3D. And with that selected, we'll put them same values in the pivot. So go to the inspector, select pivot. Once again, if you look in viewer 1, our anchor point, or pivot point, if you want to call it, is way to the left and down low. So as you've seen in the pivot x-axis, I had changed to 0.5, and in viewer 1, it moved the pivot point to the center at the bottom. And Y value, put 0.25 again. And Z value, put 0.038. And I'll zoom in on it, you'll see everything's center now. With the extrude node selected, go to the inspector under controls. You'll see you have everything you would normally have in any 3D text. So we're going to add some extrude to this. To see the 3D better in viewer 1, there's a little light switch up here. Select that, you can see a lot better. I think I'm going to take mine up to 0.07. That depends on how large your logo is, so that could be entirely different. Take the excursions, subdivisions all the way to the right. And same thing with smoothing angle all the way to the right. On the bevel depth and width, with somewhere around 0.0031. And you can set yours however you'd like. And go to custom. In case you don't already know, this graph here, one side is for the front and one side is for the back. This is the front edge here. And the back edge here. You can do all kinds of wild things with this graph. Highlight these bottom and bring the handles all the way out like this. If you screw up this graph, just right click and go down to reset. So select both the top ones. Hit F on the keyboard. And bring those handles all the way out. Now we have nice rounded edges on our logo. Now select your first Boolean node. Shift spacebar and S merge. Once we're already done, we'll move out of the way so we don't do them again. We're going to do this one here now. So put that in viewer 1. Click away right here. Shift spacebar and S polygon. Now select the SVG node. becomes repetitious after this. Highlight the whole thing and right click on one of the points. Don't forget to select the S polygon node before you go to viewer 2. And then right click and paste. You can see when I tied it in there, it didn't do anything. So with the S polygon node selected, shift spacebar and S boolean. It doesn't do anything until we tie this into the main pipe. And now look in the viewer and it's cut out. Okay, now we'll go to this one. Get another S polygon node. I'll select this merge. S boolean. Let's go back to the SVG node and we'll select that. Now you'll see when I connect to that, it cut out everything else except for what we're masking. You want to make sure you select the S boolean. Go up here to operations again and subtract. And now you'll see it's all back. And just repeat the process for the next one. Add another S boolean. Click away right here. Shift spacebar and S polygon again. Now we'll convert it. And once again, everything's gone except for what we just masked. Select the S boolean. And subtract. Now we have it all made. I did 2 triangles in the circle, but it'll add a lot more work to it. So I kept it simple, keep the tutorial short. Okay, now we'll add a texture to it. We're going to make it chrome, and then we're going to add a color corrector so you can make it whatever color you'd like. Let's go ahead and animate it first. Select the transform node. Make sure you're on frame 0. In the inspector, under rotation, Y value. I'm going to start it to minus 20. Set a keyframe. Go to frame 75, halfway, depending on what your frame rate is. and rotate to 160. Take the playhead all the way to the end and rotate to 340. While that transform's selected, go up here to the spline. If you don't see the whole thing, up here on the right, select that little window. These little three dots over here, I have show only selected tool, which is the transform. So it'll only show this one. If you don't have that selected, it'll show all of them. So select the transform over here. Over here to zoom to fit. Down here to select all. Hit F on the keyboard as in flatten. Then hit T as in Tom. And we're going to do the ease in and ease out over here. So go ahead and lock it. Now both ease in and ease out will adjust at the same time. Run it up to around 50. Come down here and select Set Relative. By selecting the Set Relative, that will allow you to stretch this out as long as you'd like on a timeline, which I'll demonstrate at the end. And go up here, close them out, close your spline. We're going to add a shader to this. I'll show you how to make a Chrome node instead of using the one Resolve uses. I think it looks much more like Chrome. We're not going to use any lights or anything because they're not effective when you use the replace material. So if you're going to use a color on it, you're not going to do this process. I'll select the extrude node, shift spacebar, and replace material. Then go up to the left under Effects, Templates, Fusion, under Shaders. You can pick the Chrome node if you like, but I don't like it, so I'm going to show you what I do, and I actually save one, which I'll show you where I have mine saved in a moment. But to make one, all you need is a gold bump node. Double click on it to open it. Then delete everything down to the blur, including the blur. And close it. Connect that into the replace material node like that. Then come over here to face on strength. Take it all the way to the right, and now you'll see we have Chrome. I have mine saved. I made a node and saved it. I have a tutorial on how to do that. Under my shaders here. Does the exact same thing, except I don't have to adjust the face on strength or break it down and do that over every time. Now we're going to add a color corrector to it so we can make it whatever color we'd like. That is 2D, so it has to be on the outlet side of the render node. So select that. Go to the toolbar and select the color corrector. Now you can use a dummy wheel and you can make it any color you'd like. And you can select this fast button here and that'll change the whole scene of it. Colors will be darker. If you're having slow render times rendering the cache, select the render node, go up here under render type, change it from software to hardware. Well, there you go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.